For those of you that do watch the video in its entirety but tend to click off right there on the outro, you might want to stick around till the end for a sneak peek on what I'm coming up with next. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video on Straight Down the Middle. My name is Cary Hardy and I talk and do everything pinball. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. Oh man, it has been a while, but damn it, I've been busy. I mean, without a doubt, there is no just me sitting around just twiddling my thumbs, just looking for something to do. No, guys, I do have another job that I usually tend to work anywhere between 48 to 60 hours a week on. Not to mention I am raising a family, but that does not deter the fact that I still want to put out content for all of you. For those of you that do not follow my solo channel on YouTube, I did put out a channel update which promotes the fact that I have upgraded my equipment. So not only do I have proper lighting for recording purposes, as well as a new DSLR camera to give you that high pop and resolution that I know a lot of you would like. Now, granted, there's going to be a little bit of a segue from high quality DSLR footage to what I've been using, which is usually either my cell phone or a GoPro. So there's going to be certain points in the segue process that are going to be like, hold on, where's the good footage that you promised us, Cary? This is still kind of mediocre. So just keep in mind there will be a transitioning. But enough about that. Let's get down to the knit and grit about this video. For those of you that either own this game, have played the game, or even just seen the game, you may know that the primary factory standard lamp base is red. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was perfectly content with buying a new red replacement. But then I saw that there was options. And I was like, ooh, I love options. So let's see what we got. So I want to say by glancing over the interweb, we found the standard red, and then there was a purple. And I was like, ooh, I lean more towards the purple. But then I saw that there was a transparent one. And I was like, transparent? Maybe I could do an RGB effect. That may or may not look good. And if it doesn't look good as an RGB, then I'll just put some purple lights under there and then we'll be good to go. So initially this video was going to be about me just swapping the red disc to a transparent disc and that's it. But as I dug deeper into it, I realized, well, this could be a little bit more content than just a quick swapperoo. We're going to be showing you how to disassemble the lamp base and replace it, as well as even improve it. That's going to be up to you on whether or not we've done that. So let's get flipping. Alright, so let's figure out what all it is that we're going to have to remove in order to change this out. Looks like, well, hell, this looks horrible. I might just take everything off and polish it all up and then put it back together again. What the hell? It looks like I've got some... I wonder if this stuff was near the ocean or something right here. Looks like we got some corrosion going on here. I don't like that. No siree. So I'm actually going to be taking this whole mech off and we're going to clean this sucker up. So I'm gonna obviously be speeding up this footage because no one wants to see me slowly disassemble this thing and slowly fix it and slowly put it back together. This video can only be so long and gather so much attention for so long. So we're gonna be enhancing the speed on a lot of this, but you should be able to keep up enough to see what it is exactly that I'm doing. And that is basically removing the Molex connectors that are very easy to disconnect and connect. So thankfully, praise Williams for having quick disconnects on this mechanism. Otherwise, this would have been a major pain in the ass. Now, when I'm removing any kinds of screws from underneath the playfield and there's basically a very high possibility of me dropping one of these screws, I will have my magnet antenna to assist in that, because the last thing I want is a friggin' screw to fall somewhere and then I can't find it, and then it's connecting 2 points together whenever I power the machine on, and all hell can break loose. So I have my magnet antenna and I highly recommend you get one of these things too. Granted, the one I'm using right now is not the ideal one because it's actually a little too large for the small area that I'm working with. I have a smaller one, but God forbid if I use the smaller one, because that would make this a little bit easier to do. Then we can't have that. So what I'm doing here is primarily showing you how this mechanism works and what it really looks like and why I'm planning on just doing a complete recondition on it. And for some reason, I want to say this machine was like near a salty ocean, because it seems like there's a little bit of corrosion on the metal that's going across it, and I didn't like it, so I figured, you know what, if I'm going to be doing this, I might as well just take the damn thing apart, get it all cleaned up, make it look brand new. Granted, I'm going to need to do this to like every mech on this machine if I want it to like really be a longevity, but I'm just going to do this one portion for right now. On to disassembly. Now, this is granted something that I recommend anyone that takes anything apart on your machine to take pictures, or even video for that matter, of doing it. That way you know how to put it back together again. Now, this is something I didn't do because I'm like, that's a pretty simple mech. I should be able to put this back together with no problem. Now remember that. That's what I said in my head. I was like, should be no problem putting this thing back together again. So I'm going to start out with a very abrasive brushing wheel to get all the corrosion off of the metal to make sure it's a nice and kind of a rough sheen. I'm not going for a full polish yet. I want to get all the nit and gritty stuff off of there. And so once that has been removed, I will switch over to a polishing wheel with a bit of rouge to get it nice and popping. So now, if you don't know what rouge is whenever you're trying to polish your metal, guys, I highly recommend that you look into getting this done, because it makes a world of difference on all of that nice and unshiny metal that you have in your game. So this really adds a little mwah whenever you're doing a restoration, because like a very lustering looking metal compared to shiny is a world of difference whenever you're showing off your machine. Now granted, when I'm putting all this stuff back together and I start to see how the mech spins, I'm not too satisfied with it. So that's when I decide to get a little bit of the silicone spray and get in there and just kind of give it just a little quick little rub around. I mean, I didn't use a whole ton of it. You don't need a bunch of this stuff. I just kind of made it to where when it spins around, it does it much more smoothly. So I got a lot more spin. It's just going to make it a better running mech in the long run. Now, granted, there's always going to be red flags when you're putting stuff together, and those flags tend to be if something's not fitting correctly, or you're having to put more effort into getting it back together than it was coming apart, because chances are you're doing it wrong. Then, of course, you know, that flag's not really waving to where I can see it whenever I'm trying to mount these lights back on this mechanism, because you'll see that I'm starting to have to stretch these wires, and I'm like, I don't remember having to do this, and I'm pausing every once in a while because something doesn't seem right. And that's the red flags, guys. Those are the red flags that should be going off, telling you to maybe readjust or rethink what you're doing, because it's probably wrong. Oh no, I just kept on going though, because brilliant me. Oh yeah, so I get it all back together. Wrong. So there we go, we've got it all back together again. It's free flowing, smooth. So now it's time to get it back in the game. Now I want you to remember back when I said that whenever you're doing something with your playfield underneath, to use a magnet, because you don't want to drop any parts into the game because it just adds more work to it. So, yeah. I found the screw. I mean, granted, I had to freaking put out a search party and lots of lighting and get the magnet out and to find where the damn thing went to, but I found it, got it back on there, and I think I even switched over to the smaller magnet antenna because that big one was just not working out the way I'd like it to, but I can't remember. I'm probably completely wrong on that matter. Here we are, putting the top back on there, getting the lamp all tightened down, only to realize that I'm gonna have to take it all off again. Alright, so we've got everything all hooked back up. It was at that very moment, guys, where I realized what I had done. The mistake that I made on all the steps that led towards that mistake just ran flashing like memories through my brain as my mind's eye opened wide to realize that I'm an idiot. Well, one thing I could definitely recommend is that you put these damn lights where they're supposed to be. I put them on the wrong side. They're supposed to go on the other side of this damn metal thing. So that sucks because I'm going to have to take this damn thing apart again, or at least remove the mechanism. Yeah. Shit. Alright, so there we go. Now the lights are on where they're supposed to be. Metal's all nice and shiny, reflective and stuff now. What I'm going to do now is use my little contact filer, and I'm going to file in between the contacts for this lamp to make sure that they're all clean, which I'm sure they're clean enough because that does work, but why not go ahead and clean everything while you got it going? So, alright, we should be good to go now. So there it is. There it is, a transparent lamp base for your Tales of the Arabian Nights. Now, when I'm looking at this, I'm not entirely satisfied with the look. So I'm wondering, can we give it more power? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes, we can. Got a hold of Comet, and I have got some Matrix items from their selection, and I'm going to be giving this lamp base a little more oomph. Now the main question is how am I going to install these 2 extra lights to make this lamp base more brighter? And my initial plan is to remove, once again, the lamp and lamp base from the back of the machine, or from underneath the machine rather. And I'm going to use the current screws that hold the current 2 GI bulbs in place on this lamp base. We're going to kind of do a V formation on both of those, and that should be able to illuminate every corner, or basically every quadrant of the lamp base. So that's what we're going to do now. So let's remove this base and get started. Alright, so here's what we got. And this is essentially what I'm going to be adding to it. I'm just going to have one going more that direction, and then this one's going to be going the same direction as it is. So I'm just going to add one and line it up right here, and it's going to be flashing towards this quadrant. And the same thing over here, I'm going to have one with the flex bulb flashing up towards that quadrant. That's the idea. Just need to remove these screws and attach the new bulb socket up underneath that. I've got plenty of room to attach it, so we should be good to go. And let's do that. Okay, so this is what I've got going on here. Let's see, let's get it all back together and see how it looks. Alright, so here we go. We've got RGBs all around. So this puppy should glow a lot better than what it did. So let's power it on and see what we get. Make sure all of them work. That looks a lot better. So there it is, a transparent lamp base on a totem with RGB lighting from underneath using the flex bulbs from Comet as well as some of their light systems. I didn't really actually potentially use their matrix system per se due to the setup that I was going for. So I actually purchased some items that I didn't even need to purchase. I just needed to get some additional bulb holders. I think it turned out really good. I'm kind of like, happy with the results on it, but I'm kind of curious about what you think. Should I have gone with the traditional red? Should I have gone with the purple? This is where it's going to be a little bit of conflict because I know there are those of you out there, the purists, that believe the game should continue with the red lamp base. And that is perfectly fine. It's all cosmetic. It's not going to affect the gameplay of the game. It's still going to play the same, but just give me a little bit different. And the reason also why I did this is because I have yet to see anybody else online with this. So I figured I would give you guys the ability to see the first one with a transparent lamp base. That way you can decide on whether or not you should transform your totem into having this. Or maybe give it your own little spin on it. Spin, because the lamp base spins. A little bit of a pun there. Oh! So that's going to wrap up this video, guys, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and maybe you even learned something, then give me that thumbs up to let me know. And if you haven't already, do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below. That way you can be notified of whenever we upload something for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, guys, peace out. Now, granted, I do enjoy the extra little lighting effect that I've got on my lamp base, and the lighting for this game is very, good for its time, but I want to be able to kind of ump up the game and just give it a little more pop. Something that makes it stand out. Something that makes it look like... I wonder... Oh my god, it worked. This is amazing. And hopefully this effect looks good in post. Otherwise, I'm just completely wasting my time trying to pull off this effect. I'm hoping it looks good. We'll see. We'll see. He who summons me
What dost thou want?
I want to really improve the lighting on this game. I want Penn Stadium fusions.
You cannot handle so much power. This game is already beautiful as it is. Why on earth would you want this beauty to be enhanced? One cannot handle it.
That's a chance I'm willing to take. I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to take that chance. If you can get me a set of Penn Stadium fusions, I will show people how to mount these things on this game and what it can do.
Let it be done!
No way. I'll be damned.